Hello friends, today we will talk about Farm Bills 2020. In September 2020, a set of farm bills were introduced by the Government of India which created a lot of discussions, debates and acquisitions among the various parties involved. Let's try to see objectively what does this bill actually contains and what are the pros and cons of these bills. Uh, let's start by knowing how does the system works until now before the bills were introduced. Agriculture is a state subject. That means that the state governments can enact various laws to govern how the agricultural produce is sold in their states. What most of the states have done is created APMCs or agricultural produce marketing committees, which are cooperative societies where farmers can bring their produce and auction them to the wholesalers or the retailers. This seems pretty good, but then there is additional factors coming in forms of commission agents who are the registered intermediaries between the wholesalers and the farmers. And also another factor that comes in is the Essential Commodities Act of 1950s somewhere. What does this act mandates is that it has a list of essential commodities which are prohibited to be stockpiled by any agencies or any retailer, wholesaler, or whatever. Now, coming to the provisions of this new laws, what we know as the farm bills are basically a set of three different laws. The first one is the Farmer Empowerment and Protection Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill of 2020, which for short let's call it a food bill. As per this new law, farmers can sell their produce anywhere within the country, irrespective of whatever APMC they fall into. So this kinds of frees up the market for farmers. Now, the second law is the Farmer Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion Facilitation Bill of 2020. This enables farmers to enter into what we know as contract farming, that is the written contract or agreements with say wholesaler or any other companies to whom farmers would be able to sell their produce. The farmers and the respective companies with whom they enter in the contract with can mutually set the price for the produce, the quality standards, and all these things beforehand. The third one is the Essential Commodities Amendment Bill. What it says is that it removes certain commodities like the cereal, pulses, oil seeds, onion and potatoes from the list of essential commodities. That means that all of the list items could now be stocked in whatever quantities by the wholesaler or the retailers. Now let's try to see what this provisions actually means to the farmers and to the agricultural sector. The first one, the food bill. It provides a choice of market to the farmers. It promotes the barrier-free interstate and intrastate trading of the agricultural produce. This actually helps farmers in reducing their transportation cost and marketing cost, because the APMCs used to charge commissions to them which would typically range around 6 to 10% of that, and then they have to take the produce to the APMCs so that additional transportation costs are no longer needed, because they can sell it to anybody who can come to them and take the produce from their doorsteps. However, there is another angle to this one, that the APMCs used to provide farmers with a secured MSP or the minimum support price. These are the government notified prices, though these were not legally binding on anybody's, but then they provide a set benchmarks for the government to procure these food grains from farmers, and also that's what the farmers can reasonably expect to get it at any at the end of the season, that at least this is what they will get it. Now, coming to the Farmer Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion Facilitation Bill, which creates the scope of entering into the contract farming. This is definitely going to help farmer, because once it opens up the market and then the companies can come and enter into the contract with the farmers, this transfers the uncertainties from the farmers to the buyers, in the sense that once they have entered into this contract and then there is a crop failure or there is a price fluctuation at the end of the season. But the price has already been set and it is considered already being sold. So because of these things, the farmer can reasonably expect that, okay, this is what I will get it at the end of the season, come whatever. So yeah, that's actually going to be beneficial for them. And second part is that since the intermediaries are no longer involved, the commission that they used to pay to these intermediaries would now be transferred to them, right? So that's a straight away gain of around 6 to 10% to them. So yeah, this helps to the farmer, and then with this extra income that the farmers get, they would be able to invest in their agricultural cultivations in the terms of getting the modern techniques and the tools for their cultivations. However, it creates a fear among them is that since the government is now out of it, the APMCs will be out of the pictures. That means that the big corporates who can enter into the contract with the small farmers, they could actually govern it, and it's not going to create a level playing field between the marginal farmers and the big corporates. Point to note here is that the Indian agricultural sector is primarily dominated by small or marginal players who owns less than 2 acres of land, and they are the majority. Around 2/3 to 3/4 of the lands are owned by such marginal farmers. So that's about the Farm Produce Act. The next one is the changes in the Essential Commodities Act. The thing is that now that all of these essential commodities are out of the purview of essential commodities, anybody can, especially the big corporates and the supermarket chains, they can stockpile it and then they can dictate the prices. The farmers already, because of their, being a small player in comparison to the big businesses, they won't be able to negotiate much prices, and the corporates may be able to squeeze the maximum out of it from them. Now, these were the pros and the cons at the high levels. However, it actually is a good thing that government is taking steps to remove the intermediaries, and in all sense, it seems like a very good intentions. However, like you see that there are some the scopes of improvement in these ones. For example, government could try to create a level playing field where, say, the farmers are not exploited by the corporates. Maybe they can think about enforcing something like an MSP here also, in the sense that though they can enter into any contract, but this would have a minimum price for that one. Maybe something like this might help, but then again, once the government set into the price setting, that takes the competition out of it. Second very prominent thing that this can spur is that the private investment in the storage and the marketing supply chain. This is something which is very important for India, mainly because a lot of food gets wasted in India because of the poor storage facilities and the transportation facilities. So having a private investment which can actually improve this infrastructure will be a lot more beneficial for India's food security in future. So these are the things which I wanted to put it across. Now it's for you to decide how good or how bad it is there. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to discuss about this. Bye bye.